Valentine's of 2007, that's when I asked her to be my girlfriend.
He was my first boyfriend ever. We've been dating ever since.
I played soccer back then. I was actually playing in a soccer game and they swept me from underneath. I fell straight on my back and kind of took my air out for a little bit. So I went home and I had like this immense back pain. I couldn't breathe. So they sent me to Reno. We were in the hospital, they did some tests and they told us, hey, so you actually have a tumor on your chest and it's cancerous. So we need you to get on chemo. And they're like, and you actually have ALL, which is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. It was very tough to deal with, you know? Had to drop out of college and started fighting cancer. They told me, hey, you know, 5 to 6 years, you're gonna be doing chemotherapy, radiation. Every side effect that the chemotherapy would give me or that exists, I got. Not just the hair loss, the sores all in my mouth and my throat. It got really bad. I almost passed away 3 times. I started questioning God and I started saying like, why me? One time I just sat there crying. I said, God, I feel like I lived a really good life for you. Why are you making me go through this?
I remember I would go to school, I would go on my lunchtime and get all my homework done. So then when school was over, I'd be able to make those cucumbers and then take it to him to the hospital.
It was the only thing I would eat every day. She was always there to support me, and my sister and my dad were always there too. So people started getting up to pray every 30 minutes for me, you know, for 24 hours. And that's where you could see the power of prayer.
Amen. So at one point he did get jetted to UCSF, which is out in San Francisco.
They said, hey, you can do the 5 or 6 year program of the chemotherapy and radiation, or you can do a bone marrow auto transplant. I remember we talked and I said, let's do it. I am tired of being in a bed. So I went down to 116 pounds. I was just skin and bones at that point. I proposed because that was one of my dreams, you know, get married and have a family. But it never crossed my head that I wasn't going to be able to have kids. We literally just went
To a chapel.
to chapel.
It was perfect.
They married us. I got her a $50 ring. So after the bone marrow, they checked me every 2 weeks and then every 4 weeks, and then it just kept doubling every 2 months, every 4 months. After the 2 years, we said, hey, you know, I think it's time we have a family. So we tried and no luck.
I would go through these waves, like I'm strong, and then I'm like, I'm so weak. I'm strong, I'm so weak.
Deep inside, we always wanted children. Year after year, we kept trying, and nothing would happen.
I remember at that season, I was in such a dark place. I would be angry with God and I would be, why me? Like, why are you making me wait so long?
11 years later, God blessed us with Abigail, and definitely the biggest blessing in our life. She's amazing. When Abigail came, we were just so happy. But then I didn't see that happiness in her anymore.
I was just really dark and I never would have thought I would have gone there. I never even really believed in postpartum. I'll be honest with you. I would hear people talk about it and I'm like, how is that even possible? But when I went through it, we're like, oh, it's real. Like, it's there. And I just got deeper and deeper and deeper. I thought I could fix it myself and I was relying on my own strength, but not on God. It was really hard to get out of that.
it got to a point where I told her, maybe you should seek help. You know, maybe you should see, because you are not the same. Something is wrong.
Abigail's teacher introduced us to Grace Church. And I remember walking through the church and just feeling so loved. I felt so connected with people.
People that I met for the first time were giving me hugs, and I was like, there's definitely the love of Jesus in this church.
The love. You feel it everywhere. It's so great.
Seeing that my Mitzy was coming back, you know, I was getting that Mitzy back that I've known for years. That was definitely encouraging for me.
When I look at everything we have gone through in our lives, I really do see God in a different light. If I didn't have God, I wouldn't have gotten out of depression. I wouldn't have gotten the healing for my husband that he was facing. I wouldn't have my miracle child. Without God, I would be nothing.
I look back and I see every single miracle that God has done in our lives and in our marriage, and I say, there's no way we can doubt, you know?